Hey folks, thanks for checking out my latest project, and it's a journey through the Third Crusade. Yes, this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I always kept putting it off, and then finally I was like, you know what? I got my family to buy me some stuff for Christmas. I was like, this is it. I'm gonna do it. So you might have seen, if you've been following the channel, you might have seen in previous videos, I've been sort of hinting towards the fact that I wanted to do a Crusader stroke Templar army. And this is it. So it's bare bones at the moment. I've literally just started working on it, as you can see here in front here. So if you're not familiar with how I like to do things, I like to build armies based on history, but not historically accurate 100%. Because I like to use them in other game systems, and I like to use units in different genres. So, for example, this army will be used to play games in the Crusades, but also I could use it in fantasy armies as sort of a Bretonian army, or a human medieval army, or any type of game system that I think the army could fit into and mix with other things I have already in my collections. I like to manipulate it, so use it like that. So I try and keep the basing system similar to all my other collections. I try and keep the scale a similar size, that sort of thing. So anyway, let's go into my thought process. First things up, I obviously had to get King Richard. At the moment, I've obviously done just the Latin army, or I'm working on a Latin army at the moment, but I will be doing in the future a sort of Egyptian Saracen force based on Saladin. So first thing I did was obviously get King Richard. So this is the mounted version from Fireforge Games, which I've already painted. In the background you can see the foot version over there. I'll come back to that in a minute. He is leading the army. I can obviously use him as King Richard himself, or just a generic general, as he spent most of his time in Aquitaine, very little time in England, and then travelled obviously to Italy, where he had a little skirmish there, and then took Sicily, and then went to the Crusades. I've built a little retinue to go with him. So this is what I call his personal retinue, all the way from Aquitaine. So they're effectively French knights, if you like, but I've colored them in the English color scheme with the red and the white, and given them the shields of his banner and household. So this is obviously not anything historically accurate to anything that exists that I know of, but this is just what I wanted to do. So the rule of cool, if you like. So they're the first unit I've painted for my Crusader army under the leadership of King Richard. This is all Fireforge models, by the way. So King Richard foot and mounted is a resin version, and then these are, if I just lean over I can grab a box, or I could stick up a picture, which would probably be more professional, but this is the Templar Knights box set. It comes with 12 multi-part hard plastic models, as you can see there, scale size over there, and there's a picture of what they look like on the back. Now this set comes with 12 knights, as it said on the box. 6 of them are like these, which are sort of just plain horses, and you get various options obviously for hand weapons, or shields, lances, and even some embellishments like crosses and little flags that you can put on the lances and things like that. And then you also get 6 horses, which come with a lot more barding, as they call it, or robed horses. So I split them down. I mean, I know you can mix and match and don't have to do them like this. This is just my own OCD, I suppose. But I wanted the 6 horses with barding to be the Templar horses, and then the other 6 just regular Crusader knights. So as you can see, yeah, these are the Crusaders I've been working on. Or the Templars. I still got to do the crosses and embellishments on them, and finish off a few details. As you can see, all of these ones have kettle helms and swords and shields rather than lances. No particular reason. I like the kettle helms. These are from the Teutonic heads, in fact. these helmets. I just quite like them, and they look cool, and that's what I went with. So again, it's not historically accurate. Some of it is, but it's just what I like to do. I like to mix and match and make things unique to me, if you like. It just looks cool in my opinion, and that's the way I'm gonna go. So I got the first unit there, and then as you can see here, I've got a second unit built up, but I haven't sprayed it or even started working on them properly yet. These ones have got lances. As you noticed, each one, that unit in the top right, the model on the top right, and this one has got a model on the top right as well. Funny enough, that's handily planned. Both of them don't have a lance arm. That's because they're going to be the banner bearers. Now, I picked up a couple of pre-made banners from, I think it's called Flags of War. So I'll just show you here. This is what they came like. Now, they're quite nice, but annoyingly, I don't know if you can tell on the video, but they are very green. I mean, I don't know why the banner is so green, but they are very green, and I'm not a fan of that. I don't like it, so I'm not going to use these. You know, I got my son to pick me up a set. When I opened them up, I was a little disappointed. I mean, they're exactly what I wanted in terms of look and size and everything like that. The banner, the cross, everything. It's just they are very green, and I'm not going to repaint them. I'd rather do something, just get a different one. I've also recently picked up this model. So this is the LCA model, the model resin version that it just released. It comes with embossed Templar symbols on it, so I'm going to use that as a Templar commander or captain, if you like, as a commander for the army. I need to wash that one and put it in water because it's quite a lot of residue on the resin. But anyway, enough of that. So 3 units of Knights, 2 units of Templars, 1 unit of Angera Knights, and Andalusian. I can't speak now. 2 units of Templar Knights so far, and then 1 unit of Personal Guard Retinue Knights, and that leaves me with 6 more cavalry from the 2 boxes that I've got. Now, that last 6 cavalry, I'm either going to do another unit like this, for example, but with maybe... there's so many options there. I could do it as another unit of Knights, maybe with hand weapon shield like I've done there, just to differentiate them a bit, or maybe with lances with different flags, and I'll make them all, each model maybe from a different house, so they're just a unit of knights from different barons and area families that have joined up in the Crusades to come lend their support, if you like, to take the cross. And so that's one option. The other option is to do mounted sergeants. I do need another unit of mounted sergeants. Or when I say mounted sergeants with spears and shields, that sort of thing. Or mounted sergeants with crossbows, as I don't have any mounted crossbows in any of my collection. So that's one thought, another thought. So I haven't really thought about what I'm going to do there yet. And then I wanted to get another box set, because obviously I still want to do Hospitaller Knights. And then that will leave me with another 6 cavalry like this. So whatever I don't choose to do with that, I can then obviously make some mounted sergeants, but I'll probably make them Hospitaller mounted sergeants. I don't know. There's so many options, so many things I want to do to this. But this is the core of what it's going to be. So it's going to be lots of mounted cavalry. There will be some infantry, but the reason why I'm not focusing on infantry at the moment is because, and I've only got these guys out here at the moment to show you guys, but these are some archers and a banner bearer from my Milnatonians, which are just a medieval army that I've been building on for the last year or so. It's quite large now at the moment. It's got that purple and white color scheme with the French fleur-de-lis. I could obviously use a lot of those models in this army as well, for sergeants on foot and mounted even. So that'll be fine to add to the bulk of the army, as long as the main mounted force fits the theme. The basing's obviously going to be different, as the basing I've gone for with these is kind of like a sort of a deserty theme. I know that They probably didn't fight in the desert, because who the hell's going to march through the desert with full plate armor, away from water and all that sort of thing, like they did in Hatton. But instead, I just wanted it just gives the feel of what it would be like in the Crusades, rather than actual historical accuracy. But obviously, they are based differently. And then, of course, I wanted to show you at the back here. This is something completely different, but this is just shows you my mindset of how I use things. So these guys in the back here, these are cultists that I repainted into a red and white color scheme to obviously go with King Richard, or you'd be called something else, as if I want to do a sort of a fantasy campaign or something, then these would be my brothers of blood. So you would have the mounted cavalry all template up like this, and they have some captains and stuff like that, and then the rest of the infantry would be these cultist looking guys, and their objective is to summon their demon god, which is this big bad boy over here. So as you can see, that's a lot of things that I've sort of just assimilated into this one large project. And I even picked up some different rulebooks. So I've got Outremer, Faith and Blood. This is kind of like a Necromunda style game. I've started reading the rules. It sounds really cool. I definitely want to give this a go. Obviously, it only uses small model count, maybe 7 or 8 models, depending on what you choose. You can use mounted, but it's probably cheaper to use infantry models in terms of points cost. And then, of course, I've got Lion Rampant, the Crusade Estates. I obviously know how to play Lion Rampant already. I've been looking at some of the bits that this adds. Looks pretty cool. I haven't read the scenarios or anything like that, but I'm definitely going to play a few games with that. And of course, once we can get out of lockdown, do some battle reports, show you guys how it's going. And then a friend of the channel, Robert Fisher, has very kindly bought me these. So he sent me these in the hopes that I would do some battle reports, which I will. Thank you very much, Robert. This is Deus Vault, Burn and Loot. So this is the skirmish version of their mass battle game. I say skirmish version, you still need quite a lot of models. And this is just an expansion called the Northern Wrath of the Northmen, but this is the one that I'm going to be focusing on. So I've been reading this as well, just to get my head around the rules, and then I'm going to give it a go. And then finally, I've also got this, which is War and Conquest. So this is a mass battle ranked game. So we'll see how that works out. With obviously, I put all mine on rounds and ovals, but I do have bases that can compensate for that movement trace, so I'm not too worried about that. But this is from the same makers who made the Warhammer Ancient Battles game, and it looks pretty good. I'm looking forward to this. And then while we're at it, talking about rule books, I'm looking for a rule set called Soldiers of God. Now I can't remember who makes it, because I should have probably remembered, but I'll put a note up here. I can't find it. It seems to be out of stock everywhere. So if anyone has a copy that they no longer need and wants to sell, give me a shout. I'll probably take that off your hands, as I quite like the look of that. That seems interesting. It's like a tabletop Memoir 44, which looks pretty interesting. So I thought I'd give that a go. So different rule sets to play, various combinations of army formats that I can use. You've got the pure Crusader stuff, and then obviously you can combine with my other medieval stuff, and then the fantasy element towards the end there that I can add to it as well. And there's obviously plenty of other fantasy elements that I can add to this. And then of course I did have, as you can see over here, this is the stuff I'm building the army from. So I've got 2 Templar Knights box sets and 1 Teutonic Infantry box set, only because it has the infantry in there is the same as the Templar infantry. It's just the Teutonic upgrade sprue comes with more kettle helms and bits and pieces that I liked over the Templar one. So that's why I bought that one instead, or got that one for my birthday. And I'll be making infantry out of that. How I'm going to paint that infantry is not a guarantee yet, as I don't know. But I'll take that one step at a time. So this is finished. This will be finished soon. And then I'm working on that unit. Once that's finished, I'm going to build up the 4th unit of cavalry, I think. And then start thinking about how I want to expand on this further. And then I've got to start thinking about the Arabs. So lots to mull over. But I hope I didn't ramble too much there. Quite excited about this. And I'm really looking forward to getting this to the table to have some games with. So thanks for watching. See you in the next update.